Hi everyone! In this video, we'll be looking at the various modes of genetic inheritance to determine which ones correspond with this pedigree of the most notorious family from the Star Wars movie series. The individuals within this pedigree either have or lack the heritable trait of the dark side of the Force. Those that have the dark side of the Force within them are indicated by the red lightsaber over their image, while those that are good, otherwise lacking the dark side of the Force, are shown with the blue lightsaber. The dark side of the Force is represented by the alleles big D and little d. When looking at this pedigree, could the dark side of the Force be an X-linked dominant trait? Remember, to have an X-linked dominant or recessive trait is to have a dominant or recessive gene pass on to you from the previous generation on the X chromosome. With this in mind, pause the video now to try it for yourself. The answer is no. It could not be because Anakin would have passed his dominant allele on the X chromosome to his daughter Leia, as you can see by the Punnett square on the right. Yet she lacks the dark side of the Force, so no, it is not possible. Could the trait be X-linked recessive? Yes, it could be, with Padme being either homozygous big D or heterozygous big D little d, as denoted by the underline on her second X chromosome. This would subsequently cause Leia to pass on her little d allele on her own X chromosome to her son Ben, who has the dark side of the Force. What about autosomal dominant inheritance? Remember, to have an autosomal dominant or recessive trait is to have a gene passed on to you from a non-sex chromosome. This mode of inheritance would not work because that would mean Leia and Han would both be homozygous for the good Force, and therefore unable to pass on a dominant allele to their son Ben, who needs to be either homozygous or heterozygous big D. Moving on, what about autosomal recessive? Yes, this would work, as Anakin being homozygous little d and Padme being homozygous big D will make both their kids heterozygous for the good Force. The subsequent cross between a heterozygous Leia and Han explains Ben's dark side of the Force. Lastly, could the dark side of the Force be a Y-linked trait? No, because seeing as how the Y chromosome is only passed between males in each generation, this would mean Luke would inherit the trait from his father, Anakin, which is not the case in terms of this pedigree. That concludes this video. Thank you for watching, and leave your thoughts and comments below. And remember, the Force will be with you, always.